asubuhi dada. Habari. Habari za asubuhi. How was the morning? Dada, grandfather, sister.
Dada.
How is the day, grandmother? The day, Leo. Zabari ya Leo. And for grandmother, Nene. No. Bibi. Bibi or Nyanya? Nyanya. Bibi. Habari. Za or ya Leo.
Karibu.
Karibu. Karibu. How was the night? Habari za usiku. Kaka.
Habari za mchana dada.
Habari za mchana dada. I think mchana has a class marker and prefix.
Baba ni Mtanzania.
This morphology is interesting. From an English perspective, we put words like, so we derive names, terms for people from their country of origin. Tanzania is the stem, and the at the front works like our ian ending. Tanzanian, Zimbabwean. So here's a prefix with that meaning, and singular and wa plural for human marking. Baba, dad, is Tanzanian.
Habari za nyumbani baba.
Bani. So NY I think is not a sequence, but a single nya palatal nasal. But MB, not really the sequence in the way that our MB would be, but a single sound. Mba. So this is an open syllable. Nyu. Nyu mba ni.
Habari za nyumbani baba.
Yumbani might have a class prefix there. Bani for home. Or not. Don't know.
Habari za nyumbani mama.
This recalls home to me with this sequence. Habari za nyumbani mama. How is home? Mom.
Habari za usiku kaka.
Siku means the night. How is the night? Kaka, brother.
Habari za mchana babu.
How is the afternoon? Babu would be grandfather. How is home? Grandmother. Habari za nyumbani. Ni. Ba. It's a bibi. Welcome, grandfather. Welcome. Kiku ka. Karibu. Dada. Babu. Dada's sister. Karibu. I forgot already. Babu. Karibu Babu. Welcome, grandfather. So, welcome back to Language Institute. I'm your VerbAlly, and tonight we're starting with a bit of Swahili. We'll stay on in a minute. No need to go on to something else. G, ma are our class prefixes today. And, there we go. Onegai ishimasu. Worst day for the internet. Mahindi, it's like corn, cob. Mafuta, is it oil? Ua. Oh, okay. Chinese. Levi, what's the Chinese for flour? Very close here. Possible parallel. So I don't think that there's a historical connection. It's always pleasant to me to note when two words in different languages happen to align. Here's the character. It's a T-O-P. It's a way to remember this Swahili word for flour. And it's today the 15th. That would be hua, corn. Mahindi. I wonder if it's associated with India. Or just an accidental alignment. Shamba, la mahindi. So la says belonging to of the corn. And a farm or field. Shamba. So I don't think a class marker, but could be a C prefix before a vowel. Conceivably. So the field of corn, let's say corn field. Corn farm also. Mafuta.
Watu wanapenda maendeleo.
Watu wanapenda maendeleo. So here's the noun first, people. Plural, human is the breakdown. Wa is agreeing with its subject. They like in the present. Wa napenda is the breakdown. Wa for subject, agreement. Because it's the very same shape of prefix on it. Not present. Like, they like. Maendeleo, progress. I think that ma is a class marking prefix. The stem might have an initial glottal stop there. Maybe not.
Watu wanapenda maendeleo.
It's just a sequence of vowels. People like progress. So this one being the object of the verb, coming after it. Basically the same word order as English. People like progress.
Maua yananukia.
Don't know either of these. Ooh, wait. This is the. So this was singular. Flower. Maybe it's plural. Flowers. Yeah. This is a pluralizing ma. Okay. We saw ua, and now ya nanukia. They smell good. Okay. A new agreement prefix. The na present. Yanuki. Fascinating. Ma ua. So ma is a prefix. Ua. Ya na nukia. Smell good? Is it? Are fragrant? They smell good. Let's do this. For the translation. Flowers smell good. So I'm using the dot to separate the prefixes out. Nuki, I would say, would be the verb root, meaning smell good, intransitive.
Maarifa ya kupika.
Here, maybe more inclined to hear glottal stops. What's between these two ah syllables?
Maarifa ya kupika.
There's at least a re-articulation of the vowel. It's not long ma, uninterrupted, ma-ah. Really segmented. Yakupika, this is the infinitive to cook. Ma'arifa, something belonging to cooking. Knowledge. Looks like it's knowledges even. Plural. Or it's an Arabic ma prefixed form. Ma'arifa. Ma'arifa. Which means... So here we get that paradox. You see the trouble the cursor has, maybe. Oh, nice, another nice bear snout one. Looks like the bear is winking at us here. Very good. I believe I got hua for the flower. So a happy alignment there. ZH for Standard Chinese. Mandarin. Hua, first tone, flower. Same in the middle, basically. Marifa was knowledge. Oh yeah, what's the Arabic source mean? Knowledge or definite, so known in grammar. And arafa, be familiar with, be acquainted, to know. Be experienced, proficient, recognize, identify, recall. Yeah, the knowy stuff. What? It's a nice looking, very handsome word with this downwise stepping motion. Edreke. Edroke. That is when I knew he was lying. And the relevant form. Okay. Fa prefix. Ma'raqat. Araftu. What's going on? Oh, line break here or something? I can't really parse that. It's different. Knowledge of cooking. Okay, so again here, knowledge of knowledge, indeed. It's basically the same word order, so yeah, functions like of, but it has more than one piece. Our English word of, I think, is indivisible. There's no breaking it down into components. But ya has an agreement prefix. There's also za and la and so on. There's a whole series of them with this. So I would say the vowel part of it is a stem for a possessive third plural, third singular, rather. So that ma looks like the Swahili plural prefix, knowledges, but it's just part of the Arabic word as borrowed. Taifa langu, another possessive one. So anything ending in angu means belongs to me. L is the class marker. My nation. Taifa. It looks very Arabic too.
Taifa letu.
A different person that it's belonging to, and the L agrees with Taifa, the noun. A country of letu, I think, means of us, our nation. Ni napenda, I like. Mapapai. This looks like a plural one now. Pawpaws or papayas. Papaya. We have a cognate. They're not related, but, well, the words are related. The language is English and Swahili or not. We have the word papaya, form related to this. And pawpaw also. So I like papaya. Ni napenda. Mazingira or ngira, I would like to know. Zingira salama, peaceful surroundings. Safe environment. Okay, so here noun first, followed by salama as an adjective, I guess. Levi asks, are the ya, la, za, ya all of? The verb be, the be verb sometimes. It's not mutually exclusive. It could be all of those things. Let's keep an eye out. I don't recall the forms other than ni at the moment. So, yeah, ni. Ni and si for the negative. Tu nahitaji mapapai. Nahitaji is need. Tu, yeah, shouldn't have held it there. Like, not looking. First thing. Tu is the prefix that agrees with we, us. We, hitachi, we need. And the na for present. We are in need of papaya.
Taifa letu.
Ifa was nation, and letu our. Mafuta. Mafuta. Oil. Mafut oil. Try to recall. Maendeleo. So here ma plural. Maybe. No. Another Arabism. Maendeleo. From a stem, endelea, develop. Okay. And a ma class, plural only. Get a little bit of grammar here for free. Looking over here. There are certain nouns will not have a singular. So that's true of English too. Peas used to be that way. And then we back formed to the word pea from that, taking it as a plural. Cherries too. Let's see, what's an English word where you have it only plural? Shenanigans is one. Although there was a letter from North Korea a few years ago accusing somebody of engaging in a shenanigan. Cooking knowledge. Ooh, this is a cool ambiguous phrase because if you take knowledge as the object, the thing being cooked, but we mean knowledge of cooking. So that word for knowledge again was ma. Was a ma prefix one. Ma'arifa. Ma'arifa. Knowledge. And then ya, I believe. And then the infinitive to cook, kupika. Ma'arifa ya kupika. Safe environment. Okay. Salama for safe. Mazingira. Mazingira. I don't know whether it's ni or ngi. I'd love to know. Godoro yetu. Godoro. Or mattress. Yetu belonging to us, Y class. Interesting. Yetu. Our mattresses. Inaomba embe. Ni, well, that's a verb. Ni I, present omba. Ask for embe. Mango. I demango. Okay. Mazungumzo. So I think a syllable by itself, and not a syllable gum here. Mazungumzo. Conversation. It's fascinating. Double Z is striking, and that double nasal. Three nasals in it. Conversation. Oh, sorry.
Mazungumzo ya rafiki.
Sequence ng, so pre-nasalized g. Ng.
Mazungumzo ya rafiki.
So ya rafiki. Rafiki, welcome. Mazungumzo ya rafiki. Friends conversation. So Javier. Mazungumzo. Gum is spelled. The spelling, it's G-U-M. Tunahitaji, we need. Mabadiliko. So plural. Badiliko. A lot of voiced stops there. We need changes or change. We fear change.
Godoro la mtoto.
Godoro la mtoto belonging to the child. Godoro is soft. Godoro mattress. If there weren't that D poking up, it'd be a nice surface to lie on. It's like a not very good mattress word. La mtoto. Just talking about the way the word looks on the page. I'm trying to find some association either by sound, by a sound-alike word, by the look of the letters. Anything that sticks in the mind, catches the eye, will help me remember and hold on to this meaning. Mattress belonging to the child, we could say child's mattress. The child's mattress, and it was Godoro la mtoto. Ma'arifa, knowledge. Shauri, embe ni tunda. It was mango is. It's going to be fruit. Fruit. Conversations. It was mazungumzo. 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 Embe la mtoto was the child's. So the M prefix, singular. Embe, mango. So when we use this word order with the possessor in front, apostrophe S, that'll go before the head noun, which is first here in the Swahili. So Swahili is the word order we have in English when we use of. Mango of the child. Sounds a little odd to me. Sounds better using the S ending. I ask for a mango. Okay. So it's going to be a ni form for I. Ni na. Asking for one. Ombe. Ni na ombe. Ende. Was it? Embe. Ni na omba. Embe.
Ninahitaji magodoro.
I need plural mattresses. Ninahitaji magodoro. We have a conversation. We's going to have a tuna. Alright, tuna. How cool. That with no root following, it means have. Maybe na is a verb meaning have. And so that's a good thing for an auxiliary to be an auxiliary that would infuse into the verb. So it's more typologically plausible that na is the have root, but there are cases where you have a zero root that has a verbal meaning. And have would be a good candidate for a word like that. Would you have it in Italian, essentially, the present paradigm? Fascinating possibility. Godoro. That one was a mattress. Mazungumzo is a conversation, or plural. No distinction. So probably this noun is plural too. It's like talkings. Mabadiliko. I guess. Badiliko, yeah. So singular before. Friends, conversation. Mazungumzo. Maybe ya. Friend. Rafiki. Mazungumzo ya rafiki. We need tunahitaji mabadiliko. Tuna, we need tuna. The Tanzanians need changes. Wa Tanzania, and it's wa nahitaji, so wa and wa agreeing, but they're different, right? They're different prefixes on different classes of words. Noun marker here, verbal agreement marker here. Then this is its own thing, changes. Plural object.
Mazungumzo ya rafiki.
Mazungumzo ya rafiki. Friends, conversation. to do some Greek the other day. Let's do that next. Because ancient languages came up, was Latin. Latin is the only one that was ancient only. We have a lot of ancient Greek preserved in the modern language. A lot has been changed too, but some core vocabulary and even inflection is still used. Over here on Lexilogos, I can get a nice convenient Greek keyboard. Modern. In the meantime, here's the cover to our recently published notebook for learners of Korean, especially designed for your needs. We're following it up with ones for Chinese and Japanese too. This is on our website, languageinstitute.com, under Things. Got our blog and podcast for linguistic topics and language learning, which I recommend immodestly because I wrote some of it. And our books here is where you'll go. Got, at the moment, mostly geared toward Korean learners, but that's going to expand. So check back there. Okay, moving ahead with Greek. The steak.
Ο καφές.
Cafes looks plural. Plural nouns often have s at the end, but this is a singular stem. O cafes, and it's masculine. O. Similar to, superficially like, the Portuguese. E patata, a new world word. Feminine a, article e. E merizola. Oh, brizola there. So m, mu, and pi together give a b. So similar to what we have historically in Irish there, and also in Japanese. Prenasalization, written, yielding a single-voiced stop.
Η μπριζόλα.
Brizola strikes me as Italian somehow. Native Greek words don't have initial voice stops like that. It's going to be a borrowing. Brizola. So I type M-P-R-I-Z-O-L-A, and the accent is on the omicron. Brizola. Venetian Briziola, Brizol, from Italian Bracciola. Chopped steak. Yum. Vegetables.
Ο καφές. Η σοκολάτα.
Greek doesn't have palatal that sounds like ch, so it substitutes here a simple sa, written sigma, sokolata.
Τα λαχανικά.
Panika, darker value of chi, similar to German.
Τα λαχανικά.
And it looked much lighter, actually, than ch, as in ach, or dach, and so on. Doch.
Τα λαχανικά.
Panika, it's very H-like on second hearing.
Αυτή είναι η μπριζόλα σου.
So, upsilon here pronounced F.
Αυτή.
Forming a diphthong with
Αυτή.
au, anciently. The w there coming to be V, fricative probably, underlyingly, and then devoicing with the voiceless T.
Αυτή είναι η μπριζόλα σου.
Ina is the ancient infinitive to be, now it's third singular present. Afti here, she is η μπριζόλα σου, so it's
Μπριζόλα.
and the su means your, right?
Σου.
Your. She is your steak. Okay, question. I'm glad I glanced at that. This is the question mark. Is, and it's not she, it's just a feminine noun. Is it, we will say. Your steak. English saves a word. We have your, a possessive determiner. Greek does not have that available anymore. Anciently did.
Είναι.
It uses the definite article and an enclitic, we call it, a following unstressed word.
Σου.
After the noun. So a two-part structure, similar to Italian in that it has all the words, but it's a different word class for Greek. the coffee. O cafés.
Η μπριζόλα.
Brizola.
Το αβοκάντο.
Avocado. Again, a double letter thing, and nu and tau here. But that's to write a single d sound. Avocado.
Η μπριζόλα.
Blue pie, right? B.
Η μπριζόλα. Το αβοκάντο.
Avocado. It's so maybe a geminate D sound. Actually, it sounds long.
Το αβοκάντο.
Makes sense because it has the value of 2 consonants in the script.
Ο καφές.
The chocolate.
Η σοκολάτα. Δεν τρώω σοκολάτα με κεράσι.
Then the negative, which strikes me like Welsh. Dim and them. Superficially like the Welsh one. Then tros, you eat. So negative,
Then.
you do not eat. Chocolate με κεράσι. Κεράσι is wine.
Κεράσι.
Close. Cherry. Cognate or related to our word cherry. Not inherited words, but coming into the languages long after they've broken up. Dentros. So you don't eat dentros. Chocolate with cherries. What? Outrageous. Don't you eat? You gotta look for that question mark. Very subtle one there.
Κεράσι.
Don't you eat. Now, negative. Dentro chocolate με κεράσι.
Ο καφές. Τα λαχανικά. Το αβοκάντο. Το γεύμα έχει κεφτέδες.
Το γεύμα έχει κεφτέδες.
Κεφτέδες.
So this one explicitly plural here. I'm taking it. The stem would end
Κεφτέδες.
in the there. Το γεύμα. The taste has meatballs. This is no longer taste. Looks like the Greek noun for taste.
Γεύμα.
Meal. Has meatballs. Metaballs.
Ο γύρος.
Less filling. Those metaballs. Well, gyros, the hero, right? Hero sandwich.
Γύρος.
Looks like gyro, but this is a modern Greek word, hero. Where G, gamma, right, a fricative sound.
Το μεσημεριανό είναι γύρος με πίτα.
Gyros με pita. Το μεσημεριανό, the midday.
Το μεσημεριανό.
Hemar, ancient Greek for day. Mesos, the middle.
Το μεσημεριανό είναι γύρος με πίτα. Είναι γύρος με πίτα.
Lunch is gyros with pita.
Οι πατάτες και ο καφές.
So that me preposition there is derived from meta. Y patates. Why use a semicolon for a question mark? Guess I am just curious about the punctuation in different scripts. Why? Why in what sense? Alright, she's very insistent and I'm thirsty. I'll be back in just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. 2.3 shakes of a lamb's tail. I'll be back. So, I think they just, our question marks, the ones we use in Western Europe, and the Greek one, they just developed at different periods. They're not part of the original alphabet. In fact, I think in real old inscriptions, there's not even word spaces, let alone punctuation. So my guess is that the Greek question mark would have originated in the maybe time of the Roman Empire, Byzantine side of things. Let's see. No entry for semicolon. Where's this it? Just gotta zoom out. Huh. Well, I don't know. Greek question mark. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Well, it's worth Googling at least. Oh, hi, question mark. We're questioning the question mark. Alright, I don't want memes, but 1, 2, 3 question marks mean history, something like that. Erotimatico. So nothing to erao, I think, to ask. Nothing to do with eros. Looks like semicolon. It appeared around the same time as the Latin one in the 8th century, likely Common Era. Probably, yeah, it would have been way too early for Latin. There was no Latin that's come down to us from the 8th century. We wouldn't know that. It was adopted by Church Slavonic. That's not a church, but a language. And eventually settled on a form essentially similar to the Latin. Oh, the form, yeah. Shall I read more? Erotomy. Let's see. Greek. Question mark. Okay. Little sub-article. Eventually, in Unicode. Alright, that's... The question mark is used even for indirect questions. Good to know, but not quite what we're after. Y patates.
Patates.
Plural masculine. The que o cafés. The potatoes. Que o cafés and the coffee.
Τρώω λαχανικά.
Tro lachanika. Tro, I eat. Lachanika.
Λαχανικά.
What can I connect this with? Vegetables. You will lach. Sounds like German lachen. You will laugh when you eat your vegetable.
Το ροδάκινο.
Rodakino. I recognize the root word for rose.
Ροδάκινο.
Peach, I think. Oh, kino, maybe Chinese peach. So,
Ροδάκινο. Ροδάκινο.
let's look it up. That accented kino. So it's interesting that we would have Sino is the Greek form of China, but then also kino if it comes from the name China. Dorakinon. Rodakinon, medieval Byzantine. Rodakinon leads other etymologists to support the preservation of omega even in modern times. Supported by an... Oh, okay, there. Nope, that's not telling me. Dorakinon. Okay, so just a distortion of a word modeled on Rhodos. Too bad. Not what I thought. So the peach, was it? Apricot? Peach.
Ροδάκινο.
So this English word comes from Persian. Persian apple.
Ο κεφτές.
Giftes. What was it? Oh, giftes.
Κεφτές.
Giftedes we had with the delta. So the plural form. So this is definite singular.
Το ροδάκινο είναι ένα νόστιμο φρούτο.
Nostimo frutto.
Φρούτο.
Fruit. The peach, so it's neuter, with to. Ina is ena, the neuter one. Nostimo tasty. Frutto from Italian.
Οι πατάτες είναι δικές μας.
And Omicron Upsilon writes oo, similar to what happens in French. You need the 2 letters to write the high back vowel. Oo. The old oo has shifted to u and then e. Patates in Greek. Ine dikesmas. This dikes is interesting. I think it's a pronoun. Takes the possessive enclitic and it means own. Potatoes are my own.
Δικές.
Are ours, yeah. Are just.
Δικές.
It means just in the sense of justice. Dikos. Pure plural, dikes. Y patates are ours.
Όχι, το αβοκάντο.
And that dikes occurs in every person, with every person. It's not, doesn't by itself mean ours. That's the mas, meaning that adds. Ochi is no, to avocado.
Δέντρο σοκολάτα με κεράσι.
Dentro chocolate me kerasi. Dentros, you don't eat chocolata. Chocolate. Me is with, meta. Kerasi, cherries. Don't you eat? It's a question. Haha. Please, please. All right, it wants cherry.
Δέντρο σοκολάτα με κεράσι.
Doesn't sound terribly good to my ear, but what do I know? Dentros, don't you eat chocolate with cherry? That does make a much better sense than forbidding me from doing that. So except for ine, most of those verb endings we saw are like the classical Greek verbs. By learning one, you're learning the other. Let's go ahead and finish this one up. So close. Το καρότο.
Το καρότο. Ο πάγος.
Ice, I guess? Or marshmallows, one of the two.
Το αβοκάντο. Το καρότο.
Καρότο. Yeah, ο πάγος.
Το πιάτο.
Piatto, very Italian for plate.
Το καρότο. Ο πάγος.
Ο πάγος.
Το καρότο είναι ροζ.
The carrot is pink.
Ροζ.
Very un-Greek looking. Probably French. R-O-S-E, rose. Είναι ροζ. Το καρότο είναι ροζ. Pink.
Το καρότο, παρακαλώ.
Καρότο, παρακαλώ.
Το καρότο, παρακαλώ.
Carrot, please.
Ναι, το ροζ καρότο.
Το ροζ καρότο, okay. Adjective preceding the noun. Ναι, το ροζ καρότο. No, so ναι means yes. Looks like no. The pink carrot.
Αυτό είναι το καρότο μου.
Αυτό. Okay, this mu at the end is the enclitic meaning my. The carrot my. Αυτό, we will say it. Pronoun. Είναι is. Το καρότο μου, my carrot. Just two words.
Ξύδι και καρότο.
Ξύδι και καρότο. This is a xi letter. K and S as a cluster. 3 parallel lines. So it's like sun.
Και.
Ξύδι.
Ξύδι.
Vinegar. Okay. Και καρότο. Tasty meal.
Ναι, ο πάγος.
Ναι, ο πάγος. Yes, the ice.
Ο πάγος.
Most definite article. Masculine.
Ο πάγος είναι ροζ.
Ο πάγος είναι ροζ. So this fact that the nominative singular has a final sigma on it, but
Pagos.
not the article, that is inherited from Indo-European, that asymmetry. Generally, they will have the same
Είναι.
sound, but not in the masculine singular. Now, in some branches, they did develop it. It jumped over, but not here. Oh, pagos. Pagos. Είναι ροζ. The ice is pink.
Κατερίνα, το καρότο.
Katerina, you are a carrot. No, I don't think so. The carrot.
Νίκος, το καρότο.
Nikos, the name. The carrot. So,
Όχι το ροζ καρότο.
Ochi, toros. Okay, not just no, but not, I guess. Not the pink carrot. Ochi toros caroto.
Το μεγάλο καρότο.
Regalo. So we have lots of mega and megalopolis, great city, from the Greek adjective to be great. Το megalo caroto, the big carrot, I guess, the large one. Megalomania, usually without the L in English derivatives. Ne is like the Korean ne, they mean the same thing, exactly. Good eye.
Ο πάγος είναι δικός μας.
Okay, another possessive pronoun. Ο πάγος είναι δικός μας. Together, these two words do the work of our word mine. The ice is mine. Ours, except it's, yeah, mas, not mu. Yeah, indeed.
Ο πάγος και το νερό.
Pagos que το νερό. The ice and the water. Water is
Νερό.
neuter, is shown by the dot. Ice and the water.
Ο πάγος και το καρότο.
Not the ancient word for water, that was of course hudor. O pagos que to caroto. Ice masculine and the carrot neuter.
Ο πάγος είναι δικός μας.
Goes mas, ours. The ice is dikos mas,
Mas.
together ours. Okay, this os is going to be agreeing with the masculine.
Pagos.
I think it would be diki, diko for the other genders.
Pagos.
Gracias. Ευχαριστώ. Yeah, actually the Greek word for thanks is ευχαριστώ. Okay, we were talking earlier today about Hindi, weren't we? Or no, was it? Yeah, it was about the tenses. Let's see if we can find out. Maybe not today, but we'll get... The more time we spend on Hindi, the sooner we'll find out what's the difference between rehte, right? Was that the form? Rehte hain. Was the verb you asked? Well, I guess I could look at the chat, but it had to do with the presence or absence of that extra auxiliary looking thing in there in the verb phrase.
अंडा,
Anda, egg.
शराब,
Sharab, liquor, wine.
सब्जियां,
Sabziyan. So the Z makes me think it's Persian or Arabic or something. Doesn't look like a Sanskrit word. Sabzi, but the yan ending, all are yan.
लोग खा रहे हैं.
Looks like a native part. Log, people, kha rehe hain is one. People are eating.
उसे खाना नहीं चाहिए.
Use is possessive. Use khana nahi chahiye. Oh no, it's not possessive. It's a pronoun, dative, I think. To them it is desirable. It means they want food. Nahi chahiye is not desirable. Use he, she. Let's say she doesn't want. Khana means either eating or food. Or he. So it seems, Levi, that the forms with, is it rahi, raha, rahi? Is that it? Those are translated with progressive, English present progressive tense, versus kat. You're used to use ka, the eating one. Katahe means he eats. Maybe like periodically or something, again and again. Iterative.
मुझे नाश्ता नहीं पसंद.
Muche, to me, nashta is pears, right?
नाश्ता,
Breakfast, that's it. Naspati, I'm thinking. Nahi pasand. Pasand, together with?
पसंद,
Likeful. So like ski. Nahi pasand is not like breakfast. Muche, I don't like breakfast. To me, breakfast is not pleasing, maybe?
यह औरत सब्जी नहीं खाती है.
Aurat.
है. यह औरत सब्जी नहीं खाती है.
Singular form here for vegetable. Ya aurat sabzi. So that's end of the subject noun phrase. Sabzi nahi khati hai. Does not eat a vegetable. This woman. Ya aurat. Sabzi. Object there. Vegetable singular. Does not eat.
उन्हें मैं पसंद हूँ.
Unhe looks like it might be our, to us. Me pasand hoon.
उन्हें
They like me.
पसंद,
So Grammatically, me, the subject here, I think. Who is agreeing with it. I am pleasing to them. They like me.
उन्हें सब्जियां चाहिए.
Subzian. Unhe.
उन्हें
Subzian, plural.
सब्जियां. उन्हें सब्जियां चाहिए.
Chahiye.
चाहिए.
Do they want vegetables? No, it's telling me. Right, it'd be kya at the beginning if it were asking the question.
नेहा नाश्ता खा रही है.
Ka rahi. Okay, with this rahi there, it's adjectival because it's
है रही.
agreeing. Well, so does the kati. Looks adjectival to me the way it behaves. The inflected verb is he, the auxiliary to be. She is staying
रही.
eating.
खा.
Approximate literal there. Neha is eating breakfast. Object first. So subject and then object breakfast, nashta, and then the verb phrase, kha rahi hai. She stays eating.
राज सब्जी खा रहा है.
So this at the end is like an adjective, agreeing with the noun, a masculine name, is eating a vegetable. Raj.
आलू और गाजर सब्जियां हैं.
Gajar, we talked about for carrot, right?
गाजर.
Aloo, potato, and carrot. Sabziyan hai. Classifying. You could say potatoes and carrots are plural verb hai at the end. Sabziyan is the verbal complement. Vegetables.
उसे सलाद पसंद नहीं है.
Say to him or her, salad pasand nahi hai is not. Salad is not likeful.
उसे नाश्ता चाहिए.
Usse nashta chahiye. He wants breakfast.
उन्हें सब्जियां चाहिए.
To them, vegetables, plural, are desirable. They want veggies.
हम सब्जियां नहीं हैं.
Sabziyan nahi hai. We are not vegetables. Love it.
टमाटर सब्जी नहीं होता है.
Tamatar sabzi nahi hota hai. So it's close to the original wording would be the tomato is not a vegetable beer. Does not be a vegetable.
उन्हें खाना चाहिए.
Khana chahiye. Do you want food? It's not a question.
उन्हें खाना चाहिए.
Chahiye. Sounds like it from his intonation. They want food. It'll be a different word at the beginning there.
ये फल ठंडे हैं.
Ye phul thande is gonna be a kind of fruit. These fruits are. Oh, phul is not marking the plural with any ending. I can just tell from ye that is plural.
ठंडे.
Or does phul belong with the copula?
हैं. हैं. ठंडे.
So the dot on top tells us to nasalize. It's going to sound like an urn because the duh follow
ठंडे.
is retroflex. Thurndy. Also plural. These fruits are cold.
ये फल. फल. ये.
You like that? These fruits are cold. Ye phal is our subject noun phrase. And to be cold is the verb phrase. We've got agreement going on. So the A there on thande and the A on ye are showing the same thing, that they're agreeing with phal, plural. Silent, unmarked plural. Those could be together. We're not going to confuse those with anything. Okay. So I'm using the square brackets for noun phrases and these V-shaped ones for verb phrases.
नेहा पानी पी रही है.
Neha pani pi rahi hai. Neha drinks. She stays drinking. She is staying drinking. Neha is drinking. Pani is water.
हम उन्हें खाना देते हैं.
उन्हें खाना देते हैं. Okay, dative form here. To them. It's the indirect object. Hum means we, subject. To them, khana. Khana dete hain. We give them food.
राज मुझे आम देता है.
Raj mujhe aam deta hai. To me, he gives mangoes.
तुम्हें केले पसंद है.
Tumhe, to you, kele pasand hai. Bananas are pleasing. Kele, oh look at that. Kele, plural. But unless this is a mistake,
है.
maybe just pasand is the subject right next to the verb. What do you think about that? Why does tomato have an R on it? Yeah, sounds like a British, maybe there was like a substandard, non-standard, but from the UK variant, tomato, that found its way there, or because of the linking R or something, the loss of R, it just became confused, would be my guess there. Would likely have come through English, I think. The word into Hindi, that is. Tomato, so H-I. I'm going to hit capital T for the retroflex. Ma-da-da. Tomato. Well, we're doing it a bit. I think for Hindi it's not as strongly retroflexed. Borrowed from English, tomato, which came from Spanish, which came from tomat. Okay, here's what the Urdu spelling looks like. The retroflex marked as special by the emphatic T there on top. Tomato. A nice and symmetrical looking with a high tower there in the middle. Looks kind of like blab. There on the right side. Tumhe kele pasand hai. So your pleasingness is bananas. The to you pleasing thing is how I'm taking pasand. Thing that is pleasing to you. So it means you like bananas. And the verb is agreeing neither with tumhe or
केले.
it seems to me. You couldn't agree with the dative marked. No, that wouldn't make any sense. And then it says ye phal. These fruits sounds like apple. Very nice. Ye phal. Ye phal apple hai. Good.
राज मुझे आम देता है. राज. मुझे.
The second letter is the voiced aspirated palatal. J. The rarest of all the stops. Let's just do the j. And the form there is similar to the initial E shape. But that's just one half of the letter. So in the word to me, mu is the first syllable. Second, j, mujhe, J-H-E. राज
मुझे आम देता है.
Deta. He is
आम.
me.
Deta.
He is a mango giver.
है.
That's how I look at this ta-ti suffix, that it comes from an agentive noun. That's why it would agree as a gender marker on the end.
मुझे ठंडा पानी पसंद है.
मुझे ठंडा पानी पसंद है. So is this a compound noun? Thanda pani.
ठंडा
Cold. Yeah. Where does this come from?
ठंडा
So for this, I will write capital T H A capital M D A A. Oh, capital D. The retroflex, both instances. So it's weird to see this my eye is more used to looking at Sanskrit words. You would never see two retroflex stops like that in a single word. It's really cool, these letters together as a combination. Okay. So it comes from stabdha, the stood up thing. No, what's this? Stabdha. Look at this, is such a cool writing system. The Saurasani script here. Ancestral, or closely related to the early ancestor of this Devanagari. Stabdha doesn't have an entry on it though. Looks like the root form there would be stab or stumb with a asterisk B. Muche, I like cold water is what it means. Muche thanda pani pasand hai. To me, cold water is pleasing. Something like that.
खाना गर्म है.
Khana garam hai. Garam, I think, taken from Persian, related to our word warm. The food is hot. From an Indo-European guermos, or gurmos, maybe, 0 grade.
गायें दूध देती हैं
Gaye, cows, दूध देती हैं. They are milk givers. Plural feminine.
देती
I know it's plural from the noun form itself and from the verb agreement. In the feminine, it's E in both numbers. E suffix there. So cows give milk.
जूलिया के पिता गरम दूध पी रहे हैं
Pita is the old Sanskrit word for father, related to father.
जूलिया के पिता गरम दूध पी रहे हैं
So the subject part is these 3 words.
जूलिया
Her father. And then the object, garam dood, warm hot milk. So Julia's father, subject. Pi rahe hain. He is staying, drinking. At the present moment of speaking, drinking hot milk.
तुम ठंडा दूध पी रहे हो.
Tum thanda dood pi rahe ho. You are, declarative. You're drinking. The ho agrees with tum.
तुम
And rahe tells me it's the respectful form. Otherwise, raha. You're drinking. Thanda dood is cold milk.
तुम्हें गरम पानी चाहिए
Tumhe garam pani chahiye. To you, hot water is desirable.
मैं तुम्हें अपना केला देता हूँ.
मैं तुम्हें अपना केला देता हूँ. तुम्हें, I to you, अपना, your own, right?
अपना
Give you your own banana. Deta hu, I am a giver. Give you my. Okay, so up this possessive pronoun stem is just pointing back at something else. So reflexive. In this case, it's pointing back to me.
मैं
I wonder what the difference would be there. Garam masala, the spice blend. Oh, how nice. Garam in Persian, warm in English, thermos in Greek.
दूध गर्म है.
Garam hai. So not a phrase here. Dood being the subject, milk. The milk. Garam hai is hot.
मैं तुम्हें अपना केला देता हूँ.
मैं तुम्हें अपना केला देता हूँ. I give you my banana. guy and dude. Yes, me too. The cow guy is a milk dude. Vowel. Cow guy. Sounds like GUI guy. And milk sounds like dude.
जूलिया को सलाद चाहिए?
Cool. What's this marker showing? It's not possessive. To Julia, salad is desirable. Yeah. It's a case marking enclitic, I think. To Julia, salad is desirable. Means she wants a salad.
मैं पीटर से खाना लेता हूँ.
So it looks like the possessive ka, ki, ke, but there's no ko in that series. It was marking a different thing. मैं पीटर से खाना लेता हूँ. Say from, right?
से.
Like saw in Korean a little bit. खाना लेता हूँ.
लेता.
Take it लेता. I, from Peter, take food. And so, bit by bit, say postposition.
से.
Peter from I, Peter from food.
लेता.
Subject object. Taker am. It's a masculine form, but a female voice. A little confusing. Suppose she's reading us a written story or something. Take just the food or food from Peter. Peter. The retroflex.
मेरे दादा जूलिया से दूध लेते हैं.
Dada is a single person, but the agreement is plural. My feeling is that it's showing respect. My grandfather, Julia se, from Julia, दूध लेते हैं. Also the verb plural agreement. So my grandfather is taking milk from Julia. What a horrible sentence. Less time spent on the better. Takes milk. Yeah, it's not the is taking, but the
हमें संतरे नहीं पसंद.
हमें संतरे.
हमें संतरे नहीं पसंद.
Oranges.
संतरे.
Nahi pasand are not a pleasing thing. We don't like oranges. That's interesting. Hame, nasal, vowel. Santare, nahi pasand.
मेरे दादा जूलिया से दूध लेते हैं.
Mere dada, again.
मेरे दादा
Julia se,
जूलिया से
dood,
दूध
lete.
लेते हैं.
आपको ठंडा पानी चाहिए.
Aapko, unto you. Thanda pani, cold water. Chahiye is desired. You want cold water.
जूलिया पीटर से चाय लेती है और राज को देती है.
Okay, chahiye, want or need. Julia, Peter se chai leti ho और राज को देती है. लेती है और राज को देती. Those nice parallel rhyming verbs.
लेती.
is taking, and then देती giving. Julia takes tea from Peter. I hope with his consent and knowledge. Chai is the word tea, it's from Chinese. Takes tea from Peter, Peter se. Or and Raj ko deti hai, gives it to Raj. We need to have this word it in the clause in English, but you can drop any reference to the direct object. Gives it to Raj.
राज नेहा से खाना लेता है.
Raj neha se khana leta hai. Raj takes food from Neha. राज नेहा से खाना लेता है
पीटर को मछली बहुत पसंद है
पीटर को मछली बहुत पसंद है very delightful thing to Peter unto Peter को fish is very pleasing Peter likes and that's the creature not the activity likes fish very much a lot
हमें आम पसंद हैं
हमें आम पसंद है to us mangoes are pleasing are a prize okay now here plural
आम
so one of those might be a mistake there can't be that sort of flexibility with it can there to us mangoes we like mangoes
राज को आलू पसंद नहीं है
Raj को आलू पसंद नहीं है unto Raj potatoes are not pleasing doesn't like potatoes
आपको क्या चाहिए
go unto you क्या चाहिए what do you need what do you want
हमें शराब नहीं चाहिए
शराब नहीं चाहिए to us liquor is not needed
आपको क्या पसंद है
आपको क्या पसंद है unto you what is a desired thing what do you like
मेरे दादा जूलिया से दूध लेते हैं
मेरे दादा जूलिया से दूध लेते हैं so takes repeated action my grandpa takes the stuff from Julia
हमें शराब नहीं चाहिए
Where is it? Alcohol. To us, alcohol is not needed. We don't want alcohol. Data of give. Is it related to our words donate? Donor? It certainly is. I do believe. Yeah. The root in Sanskrit was called da. Dadati was the present tense form. So, Latin dare, do, das, dat, damus, datis, dant, that verb. And then that one in the daughter languages was replaced by a verb from the noun donum, the gift, so donate. English, let's connect to that in English. Nothing springs to mind. As far as the root itself, the Germanic cousin of that, I think it fell out of Germanic. Would have had a T initial. What else are we in the mood for? How long have we got? 14 already. Oh yeah, let's do Catalan. Ropa. El pantalón. ¿Cuál de estos es el pantalón?
L'abric,
La bric.
el pantaló, la sabata,
La sabata. Spanish masculine. El zapato, I believe. La sabata. So, not a word inherited from Latin. I deduce from unlikely to be. I don't know of an ancestor for it. It might be from Basque. Sabata. So called because they give your soul a rest. The shoes, sabata, Sabbath. Comes from possibly, okay, my favorite designation, unknown origin. Tatar Chabata, or Shabata, over shoes, ultimately from Ottoman Turkish. Shaput Çaput çaput, patchwork tatters. Ottoman Turkish, çapmak, or of Iranian origin, cognate with modern Persian chapat, traditional leather shoe. Influenced by Old French bosavat, cognate with Spanish zapata. Zapata, oh, it's feminine. Zapatos. Zapatas in Spanish. Is there zapato? Is there? This means break shoe. La zapata and zapato for the item of clothing. That's pretty fascinating. You get 2 words for the price of 1 by switching the gender. El pantalón.
El pantaló.
So it would have had an onim ending in the Latin ancestor, at least for the suffix. But everything except the O of the ending drops in Catalan. El zapato.
La roba.
Roba. Voiced here.
L'abric.
Abric.
La sabata.
Now in abric, I hear the B as beginning syllable 2.
L'abric.
And not abric, not broken that way. Always doing that.
Els meus pantalons.
Els meus pantalons. So agreement all throughout the noun phrase. My pants. So it's going to be mis pantalones. La ropa.
La roba.
El vestido.
El vestit.
El vestit. Silent T and the V is a fricative here in Catalan. Letter V. In Spanish, it's a B sound.
La roba, si us plau.
Abric, abrigo.
La sabata, la roba.
Both these words, Spanish has a P, right? Zapato, ropa. Interesting.
L'abric.
L'abric.
La teva samarreta.
Teva samarreta.
La teva samarreta. Teva.
Oh, okay. Belonging to you. Tu
Samarreta.
camiseta, samarreta. Camiseta.
Les camises són vostres.
Las camisas son vostras.
Les camises són vostres.
Vostras. Las camisetas.
Camises.
Las camisas. Son vuestras, right?
Són uns vestits nostres.
Son uns vestits nostres. They are some clothes, there are some suits of ours. Son unos vestidos. And here the other way around. Spanish has a voiced sound, and in Catalan it's a voiced.
Vestits.
Nostres, nuestros. With the possessive adjective. So I was interested to learn that Spanish has both possessive determiners and possessive adjectives. Si us plau is s'il vous plaît. In French, if it please you. It's very goodly, right? Except that s'il vous plaît. Boy, it's kind of hard to hear, but there's a subject pronoun embedded there. Here's what the spelling is. Vous plaît. And that has the accent on it. Plaquette, to be pleasing to someone. If it, subject, to you, is a dative, in a sense. It's not any different formally, but it would be in other persons. It's lui plaît. For nous, vous, those don't change for a dative. Plaît. If it to you be pleasing, is where s'il vous plaît. So that's the source, I think. Our English, if it you please, is modeled perhaps on that, with the subject also deleted, just like in French, from the sound. If it you please, with the dative you here. If you please came to be reinterpreted as just shortened to please, but it's the verb that's there in the noun pleasure, to be the pleasingness to someone.
Les camises són vostres.
Las camisas
Camises són
vostres.
vostres.
The shirts, right, are yourses. Las camisas son vuestras.
Els nostres abrics.
Bricks. We only use los abrigos nuestros. Would it be los nuestros abrigos? Nuestros. Determiner only.
Les nostres samarretes.
Les nostres samarretes. That was camiseta. Nuestras camisetas.
Les sabates són teves.
Los zapatos. The shoes. Zapatos. Son is son. Tuyos. Belonging to you, to thee. RSVP comes from this. Répondez, s'il vous plaît. How do you say what exactly in Latin? If it pleases you? Would have been something like... Does si in Latin mean if? I must have a Latin dictionary here somewhere. But we have it on, I think on Google Translate there's Latin. Yeah, there it is. Latin. Si, yeah. Seek was yes. That's where the affirming si of French comes from. And Spanish si, Italian si, had a final K sound. Si vobis, unto you, dative. Placet. Now would it have been, and the il comes from ille. If that thing over there, pointing word, vobis. Now placet, I think. Plaquet. Placere. Placebo tells us it was an A stem, letter E. Right? Placeo. Far too many different verb classes in Latin. Esperanto gets that right. Related to placo, I please, but this one is an A verb. So second conjugation it's called. Remember that because E is the second vowel letter in the alphabet. Conjugation. Show me. Places. And then if it were subjunctive, placeat. If it to you were pleasing or something. It could be that. Display. But let's keep it simple with the active indicative. Something like this would have been the Latin phrase. Ille subject, nominative. Vobis dative to you. And then the verb agrees with ille, the subject. Les sabates, we got that.
És la teva roba.
Es la teva roba. La teva es tu ropa. Is it your clothes? El zapato. La sabata. La sabata.
La sabata.
True stop there.
L'abric. La sabata. Els nostres abrics.
Los nostres abrics. Los, or let's say nuestros abrigos. I think this abrigo is a Celtic word. Catalan would be interesting too. So Español, been here before. Abrigar. Sunny, that which wards off cold. Oh, no, not Celtic. Speaking of Celtic, let us do some Welsh next. Oh, let's finish up this. This is just one more. Let's finish up with ropa.
El vestit.
El vestido.
El cinturó.
Cinturó. Okay, it makes me think it ended in an N. Cinturonem or something in an ancestral stage.
Les ulleres.
Ulleres. La corbata. Oh, do you know where this word comes from? Corbata, for a necktie. Catalan. La corbata. Okay, but this is actually Spanish. Here in corbata. Okay, same spelling in Catalan. Necktie. A related word is cravat or cravat. Die Krawatte in German. That's an interesting source, I think. W for V, Krawatte, for necktie. It's an ethnonym, name of a people. Which one? Can you detect it?
La corbata.
If you don't already know, tell me if you know.
Les vostres ulleres.
Las vostres ulleres. Vuestras gafas. Gafas looks Arabic to me. Vergaf, pay attention, or from German gaffen. How cool. El cinturón, el cinturó.
El cinturó.
El cinturó. German Krawatte. Croatia, exactly right. From the name, so the noun Croat is this ethnonym, which in Croatian is Hrvatski. So it's not a possible cluster in many languages. Hrvatski, I think the people, and Hrvatsko, how is it? Hrvatski for Hrvatska, I think, is the country name. That is Croatia. El vestido.
El vestit.
Silent T.
La meva corbata.
Mi corbata.
El seu jersei. Gràcies.
Jersey, from the island name. Did the Croatian people wear a lot of ties? I suppose the fashion did come from there. Let's look up cravat. Had to come from somewhere, right? Cravate, cravata. Hrvat, Hrvat. Necktie, headlock. Trésor is treasury or thesaurus. Histoire militaire, military history. Cheval robuste d'origine croate. Soldat de cavalerie légère d'avant la Révolution française de 1789. No, not the word we're after. El seu, no, his
Jersei.
jersey. Okay, yeah. Su jersey, gracias. Accusative.
Gràcies.
Gracias.
El meu vestit.
El meu vestido, mi vestido. So the difference again, el keeps the basic determiner. Spanish has the possessive determiner mi, so it takes the place of el, whereas Catalan uses determiner and then possessive adjective with
La bota és teva.
bota, the boot. Blanco de palabras. Banco, rather. La bota, for the boot, es tuya. Is that what bota is? Boot. So, Spanish to, let's do English, and then to, this is a mess. I want Spanish over here to English. Bota. Boot. Es tuya.
Ets un ruc.
Ets un ruc. Eres un burro. You were a donkey. Edge is cool.
Els vostres mitjons.
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 Calcetines. Socks. Vuestros, masculine plural, calcetines.
Les nostres faldilles.
Faldillas. Nuestras faldas. Skirts, right? Foldy things looks like a Germanic word. Faldilla. Faldilla. Falda, skirt. Occitan, faldilla. Faltho, Cimbrian. What on earth is Cimbrian? Faldurhem. Falda, lower slope. A lot of faldas. Their Portuguese one. Fralda. Okay, for Spanish it says from a Germanic language, probably Frankish, falda, twofold. Falfan.
És un mitjó.
Es un millo. Es un... Oh, calcetín. Don't think I've seen the singular there.
Les nostres faldilles.
Les
Les
nostres
nostres
faldillas.
faldilles.
So that's a masculine one. Mis sombreros.
Els meus barrets.
Su jersey, gracias. El
El
seu
seu jersei.
jersey, gracias.
Gràcies.
Gracias. Okay, let's go on to Yiddish. There we go. Need. Be a theme for the day. The bank. Das Geld. Probably not. Die Poso. Polnogloss. What's this?
Die fotografie.
Fotografie. Okay. Fotografie. Fie, the ending is two syllables, unlike German, where the word is die Fotografie. And interestingly, when you shorten it, we say das Foto, right? Doesn't sound right to say die Foto. Neuter, das Foto. Die Fotografie is the full word for the same thing. So, clipping with a change in gender. But phos, that word for light, I think is a neuter noun. Maybe that's the inspiration. In Greek, neuter? Yeah. Topos. Rhyming with chaos. Oops, let me select the right word for a change. The money. Das Geld.
Fenef.
Fenef. That's interesting. There's that epenthesis of a vowel here between fricative, well, between in order, nasal, and the voice is fricative. Fenef. German fünf, still one syllable. Die Fotografie.
Die fotografie.
Das Geld.
The Grafie there. Different syllable accented. That's very interesting. Die Fotografie, das Geld.
Die machst das Sachgeld.
Die du machst a Sach Geld. Sach from Hebrew for a lot. You make a lot of money. Die Fotografie. Different to Spanish, la foto, exactly. Spanish, the long form, la fotografía, feminine, and so is the short. And I feel like it's usually preserved the same way in German. What German is really good about preserving is nouns gender in the donor language. They're very good about that. Even if it's from English, which of course lacks gender, historically our nouns have it. So Germans were very knowledgeable. They had a great, strong tradition in philology. We're very hip about the genders of nouns, even in English. Fenef.
Fenef.
Both sounding short.
Ich darf a bank.
Which is interesting. Fünf, of course, has a closed syllable, closed with a cluster. But in finif, inserting that helping vowel opens up the syllable. Finif, the first syllable. Ich darf a bank. Ich darf a bank.
Ich darf a bank.
Darf.
I need a bank. Darf is the old sense. So in modern German, dürfen, ich darf means be allowed to. But it used to mean need. I need a bank. So I may a bank makes no sense to me on first hearing. So modern German, dürfen can only take a verb as its complement. It doesn't take a noun object. But here we see it used transitively. Ich darf a bank.
Sichst du dein Geld?
Sichst die, that fused form with the pronoun stuck on the end. Are you looking for dein Geld, your money? It's like I am a magician who has robbed you.
Die darfst 5 fotografjes.
Die darfst finif. You need 5 fotografies. Photos.
Ich darf Hilfe.
Ich darf Hilf. German now says brauchen, which can mean use or it can mean need. Ich darf Hilf. I need help. And it has a 2-syllable noun there still. Hilfe.
Hilf.
Hilf can be a verb too, meaning help.
Sicht Sprinze am Mann.
Sicht Sprinze am Mann. This is that Sicht with the
Sicht.
vowel written U. Sucht is what modern German has. Is Sprinze. Sprinze. Looking for a man, a husband. It's interesting that we say that because, of course, at the moment she's looking, he's not yet a husband.
Ich sich a bank.
Sich. Alright, is this what you were looking forward to, Levi? Oh, sich is look for. It looks like a reflexive, sounds like it rather, but I see from the spelling it was such with a shifted vowel. Ich sich a bank, I'm looking for.
Die darfst a fotografie.
Du darfst a fotografie. You need a photo. Man darf Geld. Mein Mann darf Geld. My husband needs money.
Hilf.
Hilf.
Was siehst du?
Was siehst du? What are you looking for? It was a closer English word and form is what seekest thou? What are you looking for? Still sort of possible to produce and understand in my understanding of English.
Ich darf 5 Bänkler und 2 Tischen.
Ich darf 5 Bänkler. Okay, this is plural banks. In 2 Tischel. I need 5 banks. Bänkler. That's interesting.
Ich darf 5 Bänkler und 2 Tischen.
5 Bänkler und 2 Tischen. Need 5. So the plural adds the suffix ler and mutates the stem vowel from a to e. I need 5 banks. Bänkler. And 2 Tischel. 2 tables. So is the L a plural? Tischen. 2 Tischen. It's not Tischel. 2 tables. I need 5. Bänkler is chairs. Yeah, that makes more sense. Bänkler. The bank. Die Bank.
Die Bank.
Ich darf 5 Bänkler und 2 Tischen.
So the Tischen with the N there is interesting. German would have zwei Tische for the accusative plural. Ich darf, I need, 5 Bänkler, 5 chairs, in 2 Tischen. There you go. Okay, and now let's end it for tonight with a session of, what's it called? Esperanto, as usual. My favorite to end on. Really great for the purposes of making people aware of grammar, teaching about basic linguistic concepts, I think.
Kiajn filmojn vi preferas?
You see this y-n here in these two words. It means it's plural and it's an object form. The word order mimics Germanic. We've got... No, it doesn't. Sorry. Vi preferas. It's very unlike Germanic. In Germanic, you always would need a verb at least by position 2 in the clause. Which movies, you plural, prefer present? Which movies, films, do you prefer? What kinds of films? Kia, so that making it an adjectival question word. What kind of? Vi preferas.
La gestoj de tiu dancisto estas tre belaj, ĉu ne?
That's delightful. If this gesto means guest, oh, like English. Okay. Gestures. Oh, okay, not a Germanic word, but a Romance one. The gestures of that dancer are very beautiful, plural.
Belai.
June, aren't they? Let's put the possessor first. That dancer's gestures, tre belai, are very beautiful. June, aren't they? Question negative.
Tiu fama reĝisoro laboras en nia plej granda teatro.
In nia. So ni, like new hour, in our play granda, and our biggest. Is that play an adverb ending? So tiu fama regisoro, that famous regisseur is French for director, film director. Director laboras, present, works. En nia plej granda teatro, in our biggest theater.
Ŝia domo estas plena de buntaj floroj.
Ŝia domo estas plena de buntaj floroj. She, meaning she, so this her, possessive, her domo, house, her daus, her house, estas plena de buntaj floroj. Here's another case, Levi. Preposition, we don't have an N on adjective and noun that are governed by it. Her house estas plena is full of. Bunt from German, colorful. Floroi from Latin, flowers.
Ni reklamu la aferon en la interreto.
Aferon, like a thing, a matter. Ni reklamu. This is a command form. Ni, meaning we. Let's reclaim, publicize. Let's advertise. La aferon. I have to choose the thing. En la interreto. On the internet. That reto being like Spanish red, from the Latin word for red, which we have for net rather, which we have in retina.
Ĉu vi iam rolis en filmo?
Ĉu vi iam rolis en filmo? Have you ever, should we say made? Oh, performed, like role. Have you ever performed? On film? In a movie?
Kune kun la aktoroj, la dancistoj reklamis sian teatraĵon.
Kune kun, are these meant to be related? Together with?
Kune.
So with an adverbial ending on together. Together with the actors, the dancers advertised their own play. Dancers advertised their play together with the actors. Li tro, too much. They too much reclamas, verb, present, sian propron libron, their own book. He is advertising. Li is he, okay. His own book, sian propron libron. Tro, too much, right before the verb.
Kio okazas en la unua sceno de tiu ĉi teatraĵo?
Tiu chi together for this one here. Kio is what, correct? Okazas, like the occasion. What occases? That's wonderful. So the noun occasion is pretty interesting and lacking a verb. Several of them do in English. These abstract Latin nouns in ION. There is no verb to occade that goes with occasion. But it means like befall in Latin, the root of fall. Here, okazas, taken as a verb, meaning happen, occur. What happens in the unua? How cool. The first scene, sceno, of this play, right? This tiu chi. What happens in the first scene of this play?
Mi ne povis kredi la scenon.
Povis, past tense. I could not. Credi, believe. La scenon, the scene.
Ĉu vi komprenas la gestojn de tiu aktoro?
Ĉu vi komprenas la gestojn de tiu aktoro? Do you, plural, comprenas from French? What is it in Spanish? What's the infinitive to understand? No, not comprar. Entender is understand. There is no cognitive. It's comprendre. To comprehend. Do you understand the gestures of that actor?
Sofia estas reĝisoro de filmoj en Rusio.
Regisoro, the accentuation is interesting. Sophia is director of movies in Russia. So I will say Sophia is a movie director in Russia.
La granda spektantaro tre ŝatis tiun faman teatraĵon.
Spectantaro, that's an interesting form there. Would it be like an audience? A group of people taken as a singular noun? The big audience, tres chatis, did appreciate. This one from German Schätzen, I think. Tiun faman teatrajon. So, the big crowd. Tres chatis, really liked, really appreciated, liked that famous play. The large audience.
Mia kuzino ĉiam portas buntajn robojn.
This female cousin. My cousin ĉiam. Must be some adverb. Portas buntajn robojn. Ĉiam. Always. Don't recognize this. My cousin always wears colorful clothes. Dresses. Roboin dresses. Robo dress.
Per afabla gesto li donis sian seĝon al la virino.
Afabla makes me think of affable, friendly, kind, and nice. Yeah. Affable, what's the meaning there, Levi? Break it down for us, please. Someone who can be aft. Affable. Interesting word. What are the pieces and so on? If you would, please. If you don't know, that's fine. Just tell me. I'll break it down for us. But give it a shot if you've never looked at this word. Look this word up, rather. Per afablo. Afabla gesto. Li donis sian seĝon al la virino. Seĝon was what? Chair. As for per, as a kind gesture. Li, he, gave, donis, past, his seat, sian seĝon, al la virino, to the woman. With a kind gesture. He gave his chair or seat.
Ĉu vi ofte timas danci antaŭ grandaj spektantaroj?
Antaŭ, I'm thinking, adverbial before. Ĉu vi ofte, often, timas? What would this be? It's a present tense verb. Ah, like timid, timorous. Be fearful, afraid of. Are you often afraid? To dance before, in front of, large audiences.
Mi konas la aktoron en tiu filmo.
Konas, from connaître, I think. To know, recognize. Me, I, know. It's kind of nice because it looks like English ken, German ken, kun. La actoron, the actor. En tiu filmo, in that movie.
Ĉu vi ofte timas danci antaŭ grandaj spektantaroj?
Are you often afraid
Danci.
dancing antaŭ grandaj
Grandaj.
spektantaroj?
Ĉu vi ofte timas danci antaŭ grandaj spektantaroj?
Spektantaroj.
Kiu reklamis la feston?
Kiu. That one is where, how. Affable, able to be aft. Sure does look that way. So, Latin. Af. This is a combining form of ad, toward. Fare, to speak. Fare. We have this speaking verb also in infant, a non-speaker. So, affare as a compound verb, meaning talk to. Affable, and then habilis. Capable of being done to. Talkable to is the meaning of affable. Related one, speakable, pronounceable, is more common in the negative. I don't think it's used at all in the affirmative, actually. Ineffable, not speakable. So affable, to speakable, and ineffable, not speak outable. F from X. Unaussprechlich. Unaussprach, no, what's the word? There's an etymological German dictionary. AMA. Several years of dust on top of it. Let's see what's... It's probably not going to be much, because you wouldn't look it up under the negative. Yeah, okay. Kiu, where, how, did, who, rather. Yeah, Kio for what, and just raise the vowel 1 degree to who, because this one needs a subject, also this sentence. Reclamis, who performed. Published, advertised, who advertised the party. Celebration.
Li estas fama artisto, kies pentraĵoj estas tre buntaj.
Yes, possessive relative. He is a famous artist whose paintings estas tre buntaj are very colorful. Nice.
Kiajn filmojn vi preferas?
What kind of movies do you prefer? What kinds? So, a difference in structure that I see here, in this English expression, what kinds of films, the head noun is kinds, whereas here it's filmoin, and kiain is a determiner.
La granda spektantaro tre ŝatis tiun faman teatraĵon.
La granda spektantaro, the big, large audience, tre ŝatis, really liked, tiun faman teatraĵon, that famous play.
Mia kuzino ĉiam portas buntajn robojn.
Wears colorful dresses, always dresses colorful wears.
Per afabla gesto li donis sian seĝon al la virino.
As or with a kind gesture. Li donis, he gave his chair to the so affable that it's laughable. Alright, everyone, thanks very much for watching, for joining us. Please consider giving us a follow if you haven't. I will see you next time. Good night.